Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Your turn. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, little louder, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Mahayajna Ki. You will realize that if you were chanting it, and all of you were, and it was very nice, you'll find that if you're really immersed in it, it becomes very, very, very powerful. And you'll find that so many material tendencies that we have, generally, when we hear Krishna's names, the tendencies go. Yatra idyante kathatas Trishnaya prasammo yataha Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu Not vega yatra kaschana. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very nicely stated that when members of the audience, that's all of you, and that includes me also, when the members of the audience, when they come together and they are either discussing or they are chanting the names or the katha of Krishna, three things will not affect them. Three things. And you test it. You test it for yourselves. The first thing that will not affect us is that there is no material hankering in the hearts. Trishnayaha prasammo. Prasammo means to become satisfied. Trishnayaha means material hankerings. Generally speaking, because of this strong nature of the material world, we are constantly hankering for something. And it becomes very difficult for us to concentrate on spiritual life. Generally, we are living around, even if we want to be satisfied, others will not allow us to be satisfied. And if you want to be satisfied, your mind will not cooperate also. That becomes difficult. So we're always hankering. And because you're hankering, by nature we become restless. It's very difficult in this Kali Yuga to sit down quietly and to hear about Krishna. Very difficult. After a while your mind strays. You're unable to sit down and concentrate. So Trishnayaha prasammo yataha. But when you come to hear about Krishna, just 10 minutes we were singing, and your mind was not going anywhere else. Even if it wanted to, the mantra would pull it back. Why? Because man means mind and tra means resting place. Mantra is the resting place of the mind. So this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This has been recommended by all our sastras, all our Upanishads. And it has been recommended specifically by even Lord Brahma to be the mantra to be chanted in this Kali Yuga. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, many mantras that you want to chant, they require you to be of a certain purified state of mind. You know, when Panditjis and Purohits and Brahmanas come, they do Havan, for example. They will have to purify themselves before they can chant those mantras. And they will generally not ask you to chant these mantras. Only a few they will ask you to repeat. The rest they will not ask you to chant because the standard of cleanliness and purity that's required is very high. But the Maha Mantra that we chanted doesn't require any purification. Why? Because the nature of the mantra is that it is self-purificatory. You know, the example we give is if you go and take a bath, you take the soap, isn't it? You don't go and clean the soap, isn't it, before you take a bath. The soap is a cleansing agent. It's supposed to clean you. You don't have to clean it. The Maha Mantra is like that. It is so powerful that in any time, any place, any circumstances, whether it is a child, a lady, a man, it doesn't matter. Whether you're considered clean, unclean, it doesn't matter. You can chant Krishna's names. This is the greatness of this Maha Mantra. That's why we request everyone, there are no hard and fast rules to chanting. Anytime, any place, you can chant. If you feel that you are in a state of difficulty, if your mind is giving you difficulty, some unrest, you chant. You chant Krishna's names. That's all. And if you make it regular, then it becomes part of your life. So, Trishnayaha prasammo yataha. Next one is Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu. Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu means we are completely freed from any envy or jealousy. Otherwise, what happens is, if this is a social function, for example, we will all start talking to each other. We will look at who is wearing what is wearing who is putting on enough jewelry, who's putting on too much jewelry. And then someone will ignore us, someone will talk to us. Then we will go back saying, somebody spoke, somebody said hello to the person next to me, she looks straight through me. You see? So all this is happening because the atmosphere is material and the atmosphere has envy. But the moment you chant Krishna's names, frankly, nobody is bothered about how anybody is looking. Now I'm looking at all of you. Nobody is looking at each other. You are only looking straight because you're hearing. You see the power of Shravana? So Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu. And the third thing that's very important is Not Vega Yatra Kaschana. Not Vega means without fear and without anxiety. This world is so full of fear and anxiety. Every junction of our life, every corner that we take, either there is some fear or there is some anxiety. Before, when you were young, there was always anxiety about doing well in your studies. Then after you did well in your studies, there was anxiety, will I get a good job? Then after that, there was another anxiety, will I get married? And those who are not getting married, they are very anxious. Those who are married tell those who are not married, it's okay. Just relax for a while. Then when you get married, then you get anxious because you want to have children. Then when the children come, you think it will be the great source of happiness. But then the children come with their own packages, isn't it? At a certain age, they have certain problems. When they grow older, there are other challenges. There's no end to it. Then you are worried about children's marriage, children's future. No one, he's not finding anyone, she's not finding anyone, we can't find anyone. It's always the case. Or when you do find someone, then it becomes a marriage in hell. And then the father-in-law and mother-in-laws, and you all suffer. This is going on perpetually, not just in this life, but your previous life, this also happened. In previous life, you had wives, you had children, you had husbands, you had everything. But you have nothing to account for it in this life. Can't even remember a single person. Maybe it's good you can't remember. But in any event, you can't remember. And yet so much energy went into all of this. And so little energy was put into Krishna. You see? So that is why fear and anxiety can only be gotten rid of by chanting of the holy names. Or by hearing about Krishna. Which is what we are doing today. In this beautiful Leela of Damodar, Mother Yashoda woke up on the morning of Diwali. And she dressed herself up very nicely because it's Diwali. But the moment she dressed up nicely, she was not going to dress up and just sit on the couch while all the maid servants do the work. She decided, let me do first of all a service to Krishna, my son, who is sleeping now. Krishna was a little boy, you see his murti there is very small. And he was sleeping. It was early morning. So Mother Yashoda thought, let me churn butter for him. Because Krishna loved butter. And Mother Yashoda wanted to do something that pleased Krishna. So this is the starting point of bhakti. We must live our life and arrange our lives in such a way that we are always somehow or another, we are trying to please Krishna. That is very important. Very, very important. It doesn't matter what background you come from, who you are, that is not the consideration for Krishna. But are you planning your life in such a way that you're spending time pleasing Krishna? That is very important. You must do things that please Krishna. For example, Krishna doesn't want us to eat meat, no fish, no eggs. Krishna doesn't even want us to eat onion and garlic because they are considered to be in the modes of tamas and rajas. They agitate your mind. If you're trying to perform yoga and calm down your mind, but you take onion and garlic, it has the opposite effect. It just makes your mind more agitated. It is in Shastras. But because we don't hear Krishna, we don't want to follow what Krishna has given us. Or sometimes we don't even know this is what Krishna told us because we have no access to our scriptures and we don't know this is it there. So therefore, what we don't know, what can we do? Which is why it's so important to have access to our scriptures. We need to hear the Bhagavad Gita, we need to read Bhagavatam, we need to know our Shastras. Then we will be guided properly. Otherwise, what happens as Hindus, our general problem is this. Our grandfather told us to do one thing. We asked grandfather why you did it. He said, I have no idea, but you do it. because my father told me to do it. Then you do it. Then I ask you, why are you doing it? You say, doesn't matter, keep quiet and do it. So we think it is tradition, but we have no idea that this is concoction. Someone came up with something somewhere, and now it has become a big deal here. You know, there was a wedding, and this young boy was sitting in the wedding of his sister. So they had set everything up. You know how it is, right? It's so elaborate. And while the wedding was going on, just before it started, a cat suddenly came into the room. And the Pandit saw the cat and thought the cat will just disrupt everything. So quickly, the Pandit was very quick. He improvised. He got a basket and put it over the cat and put it in the corner. So the cat was there. The boy watched it. Now time came for the boy to get married. He sat down. Panditji came many years later. Everything was ready. Just before he started, he told Panditji, you're missing something very important. Where is the cat and where's the basket? They should be there because it's tradition. You see? So this is what happens. We take something, we don't know where it came from, how it came from. It's okay, Masjid. Where it came from, how it came from, but we just do it. But we have no idea whether it is authorized, it is not authorized, and therefore whether it has effect or it has no effect. These leelas are authorized. So Mother Yashoda decided, let me do something that pleases Krishna. If Krishna wants butter, why should I give him Coca-Cola? I shouldn't, right? Because he likes butter. So she churned butter. As she was churning, it was laborious. I think today very few of us have had the experience of churning butter. Now we buy butter, isn't it? It's nearby. But we don't churn butter. But in India, I think our parents, maybe one generation alone, people were churning butter. It's difficult. But it was pleasurable for her because she was doing it for Krishna. Anything you channel to Krishna becomes pleasurable even if it's difficult. Now, how much trouble it must have been to organize this program? You ask Mataji. Right? She's basically on her own. She's just having a bit of help here and there, but she organized everything. Now she can say it's too much trouble, but she won't, because it is devotional service. It is pleasing, you see. And she's not charging anyone also. Right, Mataji? You're not charging anyone, right? So nobody is being charged. It's all free. And yet it is pleasurable. So Mother Yashoda was not thinking that I must get something from Krishna. She was just giving to Krishna. And so Krishna woke up. He was sleeping, but he woke up. And when he woke up, he came to Mother Yashoda and he indicated to her that I want to take some milk. So Mother Yashoda became very happy. She put Krishna on the lap, she stopped churning the butter and she fed him milk. But she had a little bit of a dilemma. She had put some milk from the cows earlier and she had put it on the stove. It was heating up and it was threatening to boil. Mother Yashoda thought, if I continue feeding Krishna, the milk will be lost. Now the milk is also for Krishna. Krishna also wants my milk. Let me put him down for 2 minutes. I'll run in and I'll come back. She ran inside, but Krishna became very upset with her. People may think, how can God become upset with someone like that? How can Krishna be God if he's a child? The point in Bhagavatam is, in bhakti, Krishna is so kind that if you treat him like a son, he will treat you like a mother. If you treat him like a father, he will become a father. If you treat him like a good friend, he will always be a good friend. And as a good friend, he will never cheat you. As a father, he will never let you go. And as a child, he will play the perfect part of a child. Now children, if you put them down for 2 minutes because they're very hungry, they're not going to lie down like sadhus, isn't it? They're going to become upset. So Krishna thought, I'm very upset with mother for putting me down. He took a stone and he broke the pot that Mother Yashoda was churning. And all the butter came out. Now, this is very important. Even though it appeared as if Krishna was breaking something and he was being very naughty, but philosophically speaking, everything belongs to Krishna, isn't it? Mother Yashoda was very worried that Krishna was a butter thief. He's famous as a butter thief. And all the gopis would complain that he's stealing butter. But nobody realized and nobody knew except Krishna that Krishna is the proprietor of everything in this world. Therefore, what doesn't belong to him? And what does he need to steal? Nothing. In fact, we are stealing from Krishna. We take things from Krishna and we think this is mine. If it is yours, it should go with you at the point of your death. But nothing goes with you at the point of death, which means nothing belongs to you. So actually, when Krishna took the butter from Mother Yashoda, he was fulfilling her desire that he should eat butter. That's what he was doing. When he went to the neighbor's house to steal butter, he was fulfilling the desire, the inner desires of all his neighbors, the gopis, who prayed every day, I pray Krishna will come to my house. I pray that I'll be able to do something for him. and Krishna would steal butter from them. So you see, any interaction with Krishna is never a loss. Neither is it futile. Please remember that. Today you coming here and sitting for 1.5 hours is not a waste of time. Neither is it a frustrating exercise. It will deepen your love for Krishna. You never lose anything when you do bhakti. This is very important. And so Mother Yashoda came out and she saw that Krishna was not there. Krishna had run away, but he had broken the pot and all the butter had spilled out. And so Mother Yashoda decided, today I must discipline Krishna. So he took the stick and then she decided to follow him. Now it wasn't difficult to follow Krishna because Krishna's footprints were all touched with butter. So she just followed all the way to the storeroom at the end of the house. And in the storeroom she saw an amazing sight. She saw Krishna standing on a mota, which is very big. And he was tiptoeing and he was breaking more pots of butter hanging from the ceiling. And all the butter was flowing. And Krishna was not alone. Krishna was with the monkeys of Vrindavan. These monkeys of Vrindavan are not ordinary monkeys, Bhagavatam tells us. They are great devotees of the Lord. In fact, today also if you go to Vrindavan, you find that half of Vrindavan population human beings, the other half mostly are monkeys actually. And these monkeys are, they have a life of their own. In Vrindavan, if you go and you wear glasses, I give you 5-10 minutes, the glasses will go. They are very quick. And once they get the glass, to get the glass back is very difficult. They will hang around, but they will wait for someone to bargain with them. You have to throw some prasad or something they like, then they may throw the glass down. But by then the glass is not in any shape for you to use it. Right? It's gone. So these monkeys, Shastras tell us, are not ordinary monkeys. They are actually sadhus. They were actually on the trajectory of bhakti. But because they lost, somehow they became distracted by material nature, they fell. But Krishna is so kind that he picks them up and he brings them to Vrindavan in this form. Now the monkeys that were in the room with Krishna were a very special group of monkeys. They were not sadhus. They were the Vanaras in Ram Leela. They were the Vanaras, the monkey-like races, They were so powerful at that time and they served Lord Ram with so much bhakti and love. When Lord Ram had finished his Leela, he asked them, what do you want? And I will give it to you. Instead of asking for anything material, which is generally what people ask for, they said that, Lord Ram, next time you come into this world, you please allow us to come back so that we can be your servants. And so Lord Ram made a promise to his devotees, the monkeys, that when I come back to this world again, I promise you will come back. Now Lord is a very busy person. He is controlling the whole creation. How does he keep his promises? We don't have so much things to do, but we sometimes we make a promise, we may break it. But Krishna will never break it. So when Lord Ram came back from Treta Yuga in Dwapara Yuga, and he became Krishna, then these same monkeys, the Vanaras, they became the monkeys in this Leela, in Vrindavan. And the Lord promised that they could serve him, and the Lord also served them. So the Lord fed them butter, and they also fed him butter. To Mother Yashoda, this was just a playful act. But to Krishna and the monkeys, it was a different thing altogether. And so the monkeys bound Krishna with their love for him. From the time of Ram's Leela, that's how great Krishna is. But when the monkeys became satisfied with the butter and they saw Mother Yashoda standing with a stick at the corner, they decided it's time to scramble. And they left, leaving only Krishna. And Krishna was sitting on the mota eating butter. When he realized his friends ran away, despite so much butter being there, he now knew there must be somebody behind that they are afraid of. And so he turned around and he saw Mother Yashoda, which is, by the way, very good, because he loves his mother. But when he saw Mother Yashoda with a stick, then the whole scene changed. And he knew he was in trouble. Now sometimes when children are in trouble and they see their mother with the stick, what do? They start bargaining, or they start running to them and saying sorry. They try, right? But Krishna thought, why should I try all that? He just started running away from his mother. So Mother Yashoda thought, okay, Krishna's running, I'll catch him, it shouldn't be a problem. So Krishna was a small boy, not very difficult to catch. And so Mother Yashoda started running. When she was just about to catch Krishna, she saw that Krishna was half a meter away. She tried again to catch Krishna, but he was half a meter away. And the more she tried to catch him, the further he was. But what she didn't realize is that many people are trying to catch Krishna. There was a demon, in Krishna Leela known as Kalayavana. He came to attack he came to attack Dwarka at the time when Jarasan was also attacking. And so Krishna came out to battle him, and he walked on foot, Krishna. When Kalayavana saw Krishna, Krishna dropped all his weapons and walked towards Kalayavana. So Kalayavana thought, oh, Krishna wants a hand-to-hand combat, I'll give it to him. But to his surprise, Krishna walked past him and started walking away from Kalayavana. So Kalyamana thought, this Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, is a coward. He's running away from me. Let me catch him. So just like Mother Yashoda was running after Krishna, Kalyavana, the demon, was running after Krishna also. This famous pastime of Krishna walking is found in the Rancho Rai deity. Okay, it is in Dakor, Gujarat side. So if you've ever been there and you've seen the deity, you will know this is the pastime of Rancho Rai. He's walking. Okay, the king who walks. And so every time Kalyavana thought, I can catch him, Krishna was half a meter away, 1 meter away. It was impossible to catch him. So after a while, Kalyavana became tired. And he thought, I want to catch Krishna, not because I love Krishna, but I want to crush him to death. That's why I want to catch him. Mother Yashoda was not thinking that way. Mother Yashoda was running after Krishna out of love. She wanted to discipline him out of love. When a mother wants to check her child, it is not because she's really, upset or envious or meaning ill for the child. Never. It is because she means well. But Krishna was afraid of the stick. But here, Krishna was not afraid of Kalyavana, but he had a plan. So Krishna walked into the dark caves, and Kalyavana thought, in the cave, my vision is very strong. Demons, their night vision is very strong. So he entered the cave, and in the middle of the junction of the cave, he saw a figure that was covered. And he thought, this Krishna is coward number one. Runs away from me, gets into the cave, realizes he cannot get away. He hides under a blanket in fear. So he kicked the figure that was there. And to his surprise, it was not Krishna. It was the great king Muchukunda. Muchukunda was sleeping in that cave. And he had got a benediction from the Devatas because he fought for them that he would sleep very restfully for years. But he prayed that when he wakes up, the only person he should see is Krishna. If he sees anyone else, that person is finished. So true to the point of Muchukunda, when he saw that this was not Krishna, the power and siddhi of his eyes was so powerful that this great demon Kalyavana was decimated to ashes. So you see, demons are trying to catch Krishna, but they cannot catch Krishna. But Mother Yashoda, after a while of trying to catch Krishna, she gave up. She surrendered. And she said, Krishna, please slow down. I'm getting a bit tired. It's Diwali. I'm supposed to do a lot of things. But you stop now so I can catch you. And when Krishna saw the humility, the surrender, and the endeavor of his mother, and the attention that she was putting into him, he gave up. And he surrendered to Mother Yashoda. See the greatness of God. God is so powerful that he doesn't need to surrender to anyone. But when he sees his devotee surrendering to him, Krishna is ready to surrender to that devotee. And so he allowed himself to be caught, but he was very afraid. He was shaking and crying. The kajal and the ointment on his eyes were flowing. The jewelry on his ears and his bangles and all was shaking because he was fearful. And Mother Yashoda became very compassionate. She said, Krishna, I'm not going to beat you. I'm going to put the stick down, and I'm going to do one thing. You're very naughty, but I need to discipline you, not by beating you, but by making sure you will be still. So stand next to the mota, and I'm going to take some rope and I'm going to tie you. So Krishna knew that what he had done was wrong, just like a little boy. So he stood there very humble and very quiet. And Mother Yashoda took the rope and she brought it around him. Unfortunately, or fortunately, but by Krishna's arrangement, the rope was 2 inches short. That's it. She took more rope. It was still 2 inches short. She tied all the rope she could and brought it around Krishna, who's not a plum boy. And still it was 2 inches short. She opened the door and went to her neighbors. Can you give me some rope? Why? To tie Krishna. You have enough rope, but I still can't tie Krishna. Can we come and watch? Yes, you can come and watch. And everybody came to watch this amazing pastime where Krishna is standing there like a little boy, but he's God. And Mother Yashoda is trying to tie God, something that nobody can do. Nobody can tie Krishna because he's Swarat, he's independent. Nobody can bind Krishna. Krishna can bind you, but you cannot bind Krishna. But because Mother Yashoda's love was so pure, Krishna behaved in a very unusual way. He first agreed to be caught, which never happens. And he behaved as if he was fearful of Mother Yashoda, which is impossible. Because Krishna is considered so powerful that even Yamaraj, you all know who Yamaraj is, isn't it? Yamaraj is one person that you don't want to have an appointment with, isn't it? Because the day you have your appointment, you only have one appointment with Yamaraj in your life, but that's the only appointment you need, right? It's all over after that appointment. So Yamaraj himself is so powerful. The world is afraid of Yamaraj. But Bhagavatam says, Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitasya samam vimohayati sadbibheti. It is stated that even fear personified, who is death personified himself, he himself is fearful of Krishna. Then how is it that Mother Yashoda could make Krishna fearful? Because of her love for him. Because of her love for him. He played the perfect role of a child, frightened. Krishna had no pride. You know, sometimes when we have a very high position, it's very hard for us to come to the ground, isn't it? We can't, because we're always thinking, I'm very high, I'm a great person. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna has no problems with pride. He's completely prideless, because he is the servant of the devotee, as much as the devotee is the servant of Krishna. And so finally Krishna allowed himself to be bound. And how did he allow himself to be bound? The two inches are very important. The first inch is the endeavor of Mother Yashoda and the surrender. Mother Yashoda said, Krishna, I can't tie you. Please allow me to tie you. And that is surrender. But surrender without the second inch cannot be complete. The second inch is mercy. We need the mercy of the Lord. Without His karuna, without His mercy, it is very difficult for us to advance in devotional service. But you can get Krishna's mercy. And how do you get it? You get it through the devotees. When devotees pray for you, Krishna listens to their prayer. You know, in Ramayana there was Vibhishana, isn't it? Vibhishana was a great devotee of the Lord, but he was kicked out of Lanka. And so he crossed over from Lanka to mainland to see to see Lord Ram. In the night when he came, Angada, Sugriva, they all stopped him. He was with 4 other Rakshasas. Nobody else came with him. Only these 4 followed him. And but Angada and Hanuman thought he's a spy. For 4 hours they interrogated him, refused to let him in. Until Lord Ram came out and said, what is the matter? And when he saw Vibhishana, he embraced Vibhishana and said, this is my devotee, let him pass. And so after great effort, Vibhishana passed. Now after he passed, those 4 Rakshasas were going to come in. Hanumanji stopped them and said, what about you 4? Are you spies? And these 4 said, we are with him. We are with him. And the moment they said we are with him, that's it. Hanumanji said, oh, all right, you can go. So, bhaktaye bhakta jana priyaha. Not only are devotees dear to Krishna, but the devotees of the devotees are equally dear to Krishna. So even if our bhakti is not so great, you serve devotees and Krishna becomes very pleased. And then he will give his mercy. And so this pastime ends very beautifully. Why? Because Mother Yashoda ties Krishna. And you know, in this pastime, the best part is, Mother Yashoda ties Krishna and she goes inside. Krishna is tied, but he remains tied. He will not take off the rope on his own until the end of the Leela, when Mother Yashoda is there and Nanda Maharaj come and they will unbind him. What does this teach us? This teaches us that God is so dedicated to serving his devotees that until the devotees untie the knot, he will not untie it himself. If he says, you have bound me, he will wait. He will wait until you unbind him actually. This is the greatness of Krishna. So we should remember this beautiful pastime of Mother Yashoda and how she bound Krishna. And what does it tell us? It tells us that this devotional service is not a ritual. Mother Yashoda did everything with a heart for Krishna. The gopis, they sing so nicely. Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmasapaham shravanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvigranantiye burida janaha. This is in Gopi Geet. And the gopis say, Krishna, everything about your katha is amrita. Tava Kathamrita, and Tapta Jivanam. It sustains our very lives. So, it is not your work, it is not your salary, it is not people around you, it is not even your exercise that actually sustains you. It is Krishna that sustains you. The day Krishna decides your time is up, no doctors, no surgeons, no loved ones can stop that day from happening. Isn't it true? Nobody can stop it. So we are completely under Krishna. And we should understand, not under Krishna out of fear, but under Krishna out of love. Thus ends the beautiful Leela of Damodar and Yashoda. Are there any questions? Are there any doubts? Can I request all of you to take this Leela back and think about it? Can I also request you to go back every day today at some point to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Doesn't matter what part of the day. But every day, at least for one moment, even if it is a minute, you should just chant Krishna's names. Maybe in 1 minute, if you chant like this, you can chant 5 or 6 times, maybe even 10. But just tell yourself, I will put 1 minute away for Krishna and I will chant. I'm not even asking for 10. No? Actually, minimum we should do is 15-20 minutes. He is God. But I'm just asking you now for 1 minute. Whatever other prayers you're doing, don't stop them. But you add on this Mahamantra and you chant it just for a minute. Is it possible? Can we do it? Wonderful. Now we're going to light lamps and we're going to offer them to Damodar. Mataji, are you here? Go.
Somebody is coming from Malaysia.
No problem. Giri Gopal? Okay, take care of him. So this is a time when you all are going to light lamps for the Lord. And it's a beautiful pastime that you heard. Now Mataji will get the lamps ready. Mataji, do they have Damodar Ashtakam? As yeah, can you put it there? Do you want me to send you? You have, right? Okay. So Mataji is going to share with you this Damodar Ashtakam. But even if you don't have it, if you have your phones, you just need to Google Damodar Ashtakam and you will get it. It's not difficult. I think she'll do it very quickly. So let's chant Krishna's name, shall we? You're here. Huh? Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Rasakunahalam Gom Kule Brajamaharam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Rasakunahalam Gom Kule Brajamaharam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Rasakunahalam Gom Kule Brajamaharam Haribol Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Rasakunahalam Gom Kule Brajamaharam Yashoda Biyolu Kaladhava Maharam Haram Krishna Madhyam Tato Dhrutya Gopra Yashoda Biyolu स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिवादम् स्वासतं त्रिरेखाब्दखण्डा स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिवादम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिः आनन्दकुन्दे स्वघोषं निमाजं तमाख्यापयन्तम्। हरि हरि जय दामोदर जी की। तदीयेषितानेषु भक्तैर्जितार्थं पुनः प्रेमहतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे। जय दामोदर लीला की। वरं देवः मोक्षं न मोक्षवदिं न चान्यं हृनेहं परिषदपि। Please try to sing. न चान्यं हृनेहं परिषदपि। इदं ते वपूर्णता गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्या विरस्तं किमन्ये। जय बालगोपाल की। इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अद्यन्तनीलै मृतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरसैश्च बहुप्रा। जय दामोदर जी की। मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरतादरं मे मनस्या विरास्ताम् अलं लक्ष्यलाभे। नमो देवः दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रबोध कजलाब्धिमग्नम्। देवः दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रबोध कजलाब्धिमग्नम्। कृपा दृष्टि विषयाति दिनं बतानु ग्रहाणेश मामान्यमेदाक्षि दृशया। वृंदावन धाम की। कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुत्यैव यादं त्वया मोचिता भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च। हरि हरि तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वखं मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे स्थिदामोदरे हा। जय प्रेम भक्ति की। नमस्तेस्तु धाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने। नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीला देवाय तुभ्यम्। श्रीमती राधा रानी महारानी की। नमो राधिकाया त्वदीया प्रियाय, नमो नन्तलीला य देवाय तुभ्यः। हरि हरि। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Jaya Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara. Jai Damodar ji ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jai Vrindavan Dham ki. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jai Giri Govardhan ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Holy name. I can't hear you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Holy name. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Mahayajna ki. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Yuga Dharma ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Shri Yashoda Damodar ji ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. So thank you very much, Mataji, for organizing this program. Thank you to all the devotees who joined us today. I know this is a very important time. It's your precious time, but you have given it to Krishna. We pray that we will always have the mood of Mother Yashoda, and we pray that we will take these pastimes back home into our hearts, and we will think about them. And please, my request is chant Krishna's names. There is no loss. You won't go bankrupt. Nothing you will lose. You will only gain by chanting Krishna's names. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare